Accept this divine timing today, my dear, because your waiting season is not as heavy as it has felt. Something in you may be tired from holding hope for so long. Something in you may be asking when the answer will come, when the door will open, when the weight will finally leave your heart. So before we go any further, let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Place one hand over your heart. Let your body know that for this moment, it does not have to fight life. You may be tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of checking for signs, tired of trying to stay strong, while one part of you wonders if anything is really changing. You may have smiled for others while quietly asking life, how much longer? You may have acted calm while your heart was full of questions. You may have told yourself to trust, but still felt that small ache inside when nothing seemed to move. Breathe right here. This message is not here to push you. It is not here to rush you. It is here to place a soft hand over the part of you that has been waiting with fear and say, you are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not standing outside the love of life. The timing of your life is not broken. It is tender. It is sacred. It is still moving, even when your eyes cannot see it. I am safe in the timing of my life. I am not late. Life is gently moving for me. Let those words rest in your body. Do not force yourself to believe them all at once. Just let them touch you. Let them be like warm light coming through a small doorway. You do not have to run through that doorway. You only have to notice that it is open. There are times when life feels like a long hallway. You walk and walk, but the door you want does not open. You knock gently at first. Then you knock harder. Then you stand there with your heart in ye, our hands, wondering if life has heard you at all. And in those moments, the waiting can feel personal. It can feel like life is saying no to you. It can feel like you are being held back while everyone else is moving ahead. But my dear, what if the hallway is not punishment? What if it is a passage? What if the door is not locked forever, but simply waiting for the right moment? What if life is not keeping you away from your good, but leading you toward it in a way that your fearful mind cannot yet understand? Let your shoulders drop again. You do not have to solve the whole path today. You do not have to understand why every delay happened. You do not have to make peace with your entire past in one breath. For the next 30 seconds, do not fix anything. Do not plan. Do not chase. Just breathe. Let the quiet weight of your hand on your chest remind you that you are still here, still held, still loved by life. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not outside the love of life. Sometimes the soul reaches a point where it does not need more advice. It needs comfort. It needs softness. It needs permission to stop pretending that the waiting has not hurt. So let this be that permission. It has been hard. It has taken strength. It has taken faith to keep going when the thing you prayed for did not arrive in the way or time you hoped. And yet something in you is still open. Maybe only a little, maybe only the size of a small crack in a closed door. But that small opening matters. Life can enter through the smallest opening. Peace can enter through one soft breath. A new beginning can enter through one honest moment when you stop fighting the timing and say, I am willing to trust again. Softly, not loudly, not perfectly, just willingly. There is one thing your heart needs to hear before we go deeper. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. The mind often believes that if it cannot see movement, there is no movement. But life has many hidden rooms. Life has many quiet ways of arranging, healing, shifting, clearing, and preparing. The things that matter most do not always begin with noise. Sometimes they begin in silence. Sometimes they begin in the unseen. Sometimes they begin in the place where you finally stop pushing against the door and sit down beside it with peace. Think of a doorway at the edge of a quiet room. You have been standing near it, wanting it to open. You have placed your hopes on the other side. Perhaps love is there. Perhaps healing is there. Perhaps money, clarity, peace, or a new life is there. And because the door has not opened yet, your mind has started to fear the worst. But the soul knows something deeper. The soul knows that a closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is timing. Sometimes it is life saying, not this way, not this moment, not while fear is leading you. This is not meant to make you wait with sadness. It is meant to help you wait with less pain. Because there is a way to wait that breaks the heart, and there is a way to wait that heals it. The first way says, I have been abandoned. The second way says, I am being prepared. The first way says, life has forgotten me. The second way says, life is working in a place I cannot see. The first way says, I must chase or I will lose it. The second way says, what is truly mine can find me in peace. Breathe, let that in. You do not need to chase what belongs to your highest good. You do not need to beg life to remember you. You do not need to hold your breath until the answer comes. The waiting season can ease even before the outer thing changes. It can ease in your nervous system. It can ease in your chest. It can ease in the way you wake up in the morning and no longer feel afraid before your feet touch the floor. The next truth may help your whole body stop bracing. Your peace is not waiting for the result. Your peace is allowed to come now. You do not have to postpone calm until the message arrives, until the job appears, until the relationship heals, until the money comes, until the doctor calls, until someone chooses you, until the path becomes clear. Peace is not a prize at the end of the waiting season. Peace is the quiet friend that can sit beside you inside the waiting season. I allow peace to meet me where I am. I do not have to wait for the answer to breathe. I can soften today. Feel how simple that is. Not easy maybe, but simple. Your heart is allowed to soften today. Your body is allowed to rest today. Your mind is allowed to stop checking every shadow for proof that life is against you. There is nothing spiritual about keeping yourself tense. There is nothing loving about making your body live as if danger is always near. Trust begins in small places. It begins with the jaw, the hands, the belly, the breath. So let the jaw soften again. Let the hands unclench. Let the breath come lower. Your waiting season is not asking you to become hard. It is asking you to become honest. Honest about what hurts. Honest about what you desire. Honest about where you have been trying to control what only life can carry. Honest about the part of you that still needs to feel safe. And when honesty comes with love, it does not shame you, it frees you. Maybe you have thought, if I stop worrying, I will stop caring. But that is not true. Worry is not proof of love. Fear is not proof of faith. Holding your breath does not make the blessing arrive faster. Tightening your body does not make life more kind. You can care deeply and still release the pressure. You can desire something and still trust the timing. You can pray for change and still bless today. This is where the doorway opens a little, not because you forced it, because you softened. There is a quiet power in saying, I do not know when, but I trust life. There is peace in saying, I do not see how, but I am willing to believe that love is working. There is healing in saying, I have waited a long time, and still I choose not to turn against myself. My dear, please hear this gently. The waiting has not made you less worthy. The delay has not made you less loved. The silence has not made you less chosen by life. You are not being measured by how fast things happen. You are not failing because your path has taken longer than you hoped. You are not behind because your soul is moving at a pace that others may not understand. Right here, this breath, this moment, you are standing at a threshold. One side is the old way of waiting, filled with fear, pressure, and constant checking. The other side is a softer way of waiting, filled with trust, breath, and the deep knowing that life has not left you. You do not have to cross all at once. Just lean toward the softer side. Just let your heart turn in that direction. Say within yourself, very gently, I am willing to trust the timing. I am willing to stop hurting myself with fear. I am willing to let this season ease. That is enough for now. Willingness is enough. You do not need perfect faith. You do not need a mind with no doubt. You do not need to feel calm every minute. You only need a small opening, a small yes, a small breath that says, maybe life is kinder than I have feared. Maybe this reached you because your heart has been carrying too much. Maybe this reached you because the old way of waiting has become too painful. Maybe this reached you because something in your spirit is ready to stop gripping and start trusting. Maybe this reached you because your waiting season is beginning to soften from the inside first. And when the softening begins inside, the outside often follows in ways you could not plan. So for now, let yourself stand at this doorway with peace. You do not need to push it open. You do not need to know what is behind it. You only need to know that life is not cruel. Life is not careless with you. Life is not late. It is moving in a rhythm that your fear may not understand, but your soul can learn to trust. Breathe. Receive. Begin again. The hardest part of waiting is not always the time itself. Many times, the hardest part is the meaning the mind gives to the time. The mind sees silence and writes a story. The mind sees delay and writes a fear. The mind sees an unopened door and writes, "This means I am not wanted. This means I am forgotten. This means nothing good is coming." But my dear, the mind can write things that are not true. Think of your mind like a blackboard. Every day, thoughts appear on it. Some thoughts are kind. Some thoughts are sharp. Some thoughts are old words you heard long ago. Some thoughts are fears that have repeated so many times they now feel like truth. But a thought repeated is not always a truth revealed. Sometimes it is only chalk on a board, and what is written in chalk can be erased. Notice, pause, erase. When you are waiting, the mind may write, "I missed my chance." But love can gently erase that and write, "What is meant for me can still arrive." The mind may write, "Everyone else is ahead." Love can erase that and write, "My path has its own sacred time." The mind may write, "Life is saying no." Love can erase that and write, "Life may be preparing a better yes." Maybe it is not rejection. Maybe it is redirection. Maybe it is not silence. Maybe it is sacred preparation. Let those words be simple. Let them be soft. You do not have to argue with every fearful thought. You do not have to fight your mind like an enemy. You only need to notice what has been written and ask, "Is this thought loving? Is this thought helping me breathe? Is this thought opening my heart or closing it?" If the thought makes your body tighten, it may not be the voice of truth. If the thought makes you feel small, it may not be the voice of love. If the thought tells you that nothing can change, that you are too late, that your good has passed you by, pause before you believe it. Fear often speaks with great confidence, but confidence does not make fear wise. There is a hidden mistake many people make while waiting. They think every painful thought deserves their full trust. They think because a thought feels loud, it must be true. But the mind can become loud when it is scared. The mind can become loud when it does not have proof. The mind can become loud when it wants control. And waiting often removes the feeling of control, so the mind tries to fill the empty space with stories. You may have felt this in your body, the tight feeling in your fingers when you have been holding your phone, waiting for a message. The small drop in your stomach when another day passes and nothing changes. The pressure in your chest when you smile at others, but inside you are wondering why life seems quiet. These are not small things. Your body has been listening to every fearful sentence your mind has written. So now, gently, invite your body into a new sentence. Unclench your hands. Let the fingers open. Let the palms rest. Give yourself 90 seconds to question the fear, not yourself. You do not need to ask, "What is wrong with me?" Ask instead, "What fear am I believing right now?" You do not need to ask, "Why am I not chosen?" Ask instead, "What if life is choosing a wiser time?" You do not need to ask, "Why is everything against me?" Ask instead, "What if something loving is moving under the surface?" Fear says, "Nothing is happening." Love says, "Much is happening where thou cannot see." Fear says, "You are alone in this." Love says, "You are being held through this." Fear says, "The waiting proves you are forgotten." Love says, "The waiting is not the final message." This two-voice place is important. Every waiting season brings two voices to the heart. One voice is old fear. It is fast, tight, and heavy. It wants answers now because it does not feel safe. The other voice is love. It is quiet, steady, and kind. It does not rush. It does not shame you for being afraid. It simply says, "Come back, breathe. We do not need to make a painful story out of this moment." My dear, you are allowed to stop making painful stories out of things you do not yet understand. You are allowed to say, "I do not know what this means yet." That sentence can save you from so much suffering. Instead of saying, "This delay means I failed," say, "I do not know what this means yet." Instead of saying, "This silence means nothing is coming," say, "I do not know what this means yet." Instead of saying, "This waiting means life has forgotten me," say, "I do not know what this means yet, but I am willing to trust that love is still here." That is not denial. That is wisdom. It keeps the mind from turning mystery into punishment. It keeps the heart from closing too soon. It gives life room to reveal what fear cannot see. There is a sacred pause between what happens and what you decide it means. In that pause, your healing begins. In that pause, you can choose a kinder thought. In that pause, you can stop letting old fear hold the chalk. You can take it back. You can write something new. I release the stories that hurt me. I allow a kinder truth to be written in my mind. Say it slowly inside yourself. I release the stories that hurt me. I allow a kinder truth to be written in my mind. These words are not here to cover pain. They are here to stop pain from becoming your identity. There is a difference between feeling hurt and deciding you are forgotten. There is a difference between feeling tired and deciding you are too late. There is a difference between not knowing what will happen and deciding nothing good can happen. The mind often wants proof. It wants a sign. It wants a clear answer, a date, a message, a promise from the outer world. And when proof does not come, it starts to shake. But the soul grows in a different way. The soul learns to rest even before proof. The soul learns to say, I can be kind to myself while I do not know. The soul learns to stop using waiting as a reason for self-attack. Before we move on, notice this small place inside you that still wants proof before it feels safe. Do not judge it. That part of you is not weak. It is tired. It may have been disappointed before. It may have hoped before and felt hurt. It may have opened before and felt used. Seen, so now it says, show me proof first, then I will trust. But love answers gently, let us build safety inside first, so proof is not the only thing holding us together. This is deep healing, to wait without turning against yourself, to not know and still speak kindly to your own heart, to have no clear answer yet, and still treat yourself as worthy, to be in the middle of the story and not call it the end. The blackboard of the mind can be cleaned every day. Some days, old thoughts will return. That is all right. You have not failed because fear writes again. You simply notice again. You erase again. You choose again. Healing is not one perfect moment. Healing is many small returns to love. Maybe in the morning, the mind writes, another day and still nothing. You can pause and write, another day and life is still with me. Maybe in the afternoon, the mind writes, I cannot handle this waiting. You can write, I can handle this breath. Maybe at night, the mind writes, what if it never happens? You can write, if it is for my highest good, it cannot miss me. If it is not, life will bring something kinder, simple, steady, again. You may not realize how often your inner words shape your waiting season. If you keep saying, this is taking too long, your body hears pressure. If you keep saying, nothing is working, your heart hears defeat. If you keep saying, I am behind, your spirit begins to shrink. But if you begin to say, I am being guided, something softens. If you say, I am willing to trust today, your breath deepens. If you say, life knows the right time, your nervous system receives a new message. Words are not small. Words are doors. Words are seeds. Words are the way you speak to the hidden parts of your life. So speak with care. Speak with love. Speak as if every cell in your body is listening. because it is. I am not behind. I am being guided. I let my mind become a place of peace. Let this become your new writing on the board. Not because you are pretending, not because you are denying the hard days, but because your inner world needs words that help you heal. A waiting season filled with fear feels heavy. A waiting season filled with trust still may be long, but it becomes softer, it becomes livable, it becomes a place where you can grow instead of only ache. My dear, there is no shame in having fearful thoughts. The shame would be believing that fear is all you are. You are more than the thought that says, I cannot wait anymore. You are more than the worry that says, what if I am forgotten? You are more than the old belief that says, good things happen for others, but not for me. Those are chalk marks. They can be erased. Beneath them, the board is still clean. Beneath them, your spirit is still whole. Take a breath and imagine wiping the board clean, and the old sentence fades. The fear loses shape. The heart has room. Now write this within yourself. I am safe in the unknown. Write it slowly. I am safe in the unknown. This does not mean you will always enjoy the unknown. It means the unknown does not have to become your enemy. It means you can stand in a place of not knowing without filling it with every possible fear. It means you can let mystery be mystery until life speaks more clearly. There is a quiet strength in this, a deep strength, not the kind that pushes and demands, but the kind that stays open. The kind that says, I am tired, but I will not abandon myself. The kind that says, I am waiting, but I will not use this waiting to prove that I am unloved. The kind that says, I do not see the whole path, but I can still bless the step beneath my feet. You are allowed to bless the step beneath your feet, even if it is not the step you wanted, even if it feels small, even if it feels slow. Bless this step. It is still part of your life. Bless this breath. It is still carrying you. Bless this day. It may still contain a gentle sign, a soft opening, a quiet repair, a small piece of peace. Do not let the mind's fear steal every blessing from the present moment. Maybe you have been waiting for a person to change, for a door to open, for money to come, for your body to heal, for your heart to feel clear, for your life to finally make sense. And because the answer has taken time, your mind has been writing hard things. But today, the chalk changes hands. Today, love writes. Today, peace writes. Today, your soul writes a kinder truth. You are not being punished by time. You are being invited into trust. You can wait without wounding yourself. Breathe with that. Let it settle. Let it become the new voice inside the waiting. Divine timing is not delay. It may feel like delay to the part of you that wants the answer now, but to life, timing is a form of care. Timing is one of the ways life protects what is growing. Timing is how roots become strong before the flower opens. Timing is how the hidden part of the blessing becomes ready before the visible part arrives. Think of a seed in the soil. From above, it looks like nothing is happening. There is only dark earth, stillness, and time. If the seed could think like a worried mind, it might say, "I have been buried. I have been forgotten. I have no proof that anything good is coming." But the seed is not forgotten. It is held. It is covered because it is growing. It is hidden because something tender is forming. My dear, some parts of your life have been like that seed. You have been in the soil of becoming. You have been in a season where things were not fully visible. You may have wondered why the light seemed far away. But the dark soil was not the end of the story. It was a place of roots, a place of quiet strength, a place where life was doing work that could not be rushed. Something is growing under the surface. Something is softening in your heart. Something is being prepared for you. The seed never thinks the soil has forgotten it. It simply allows the hidden work. It does not dig itself up every few minutes to check if growth is happening. But this is what the human mind often does. It checks. It worries. It asks again and again, "Is it here yet? Am I there yet? Has it changed yet? Did I miss it? Did I lose it?" And every time the mind digs into the soil, the heart becomes tired. So today, let the seed teach you. Root, wait, grow. There is wisdom in hidden growth. There is mercy in not receiving something before you are ready to hold it with peace. There is love in the way life sometimes slows a thing down so it can arrive in a form that blesses you instead of overwhelming you. A flower pulled open by force is not more beautiful. It is damaged by the rush. A blessing forced before its time can bring fear instead of joy. But a blessing that arrives in divine timing comes with a deeper kind of peace. Impatience says, "It should be here now." Trust says, "Let it arrive whole, not half-formed." Impatience says, "I cannot wait." Trust says, "I can breathe while life prepares." Impatience says, "The delay means no." Trust says, "The delay may be shaping a better yes." Take 3 slow breaths and imagine your blessing growing roots. On the first breath, feel your feet touching the ground. On the second breath, let your belly soften. On the third breath, say inside yourself, "I trust what is growing unseen." You do not have to see the roots for them to be real. You do not have to see the answer for life to be working. You do not have to see the full bloom to bless the seed. I trust what is growing unseen. I bless the roots before I ask for the flower. Let that become a new way of waiting. Bless the roots before the flower. Bless the preparation before the arrival. Bless the quiet work before the visible change. This does not mean you stop wanting what you want. It means you stop punishing yourself because it has not arrived yet. There is a difference between desire and desperation. Desire says, "This matters to my heart." Desperation says, "I cannot be safe until this happens." Desire can breathe. Desperation cannot. Desire opens the hands. Desperation tightens the grip. Desire works with life. Desperation tries to drag life forward. And divine timing invites you out of desperation and back into trust. Here is the part that can bring real peace if you let it in. What is truly for you does not need to be forced into place through panic. You may be asked to act. You may be asked to prepare. You may be asked to speak, apply, forgive, rest, move, learn, or begin again. But you are not asked to destroy your peace to pee. Rove that you care. You are not asked to live in fear to make your blessing arrive. You are not asked to carry the whole field on your back. The seed does not grow by fear. It grows by receiving what it needs. So ask yourself softly, what do I need in this season? Not, how do I force the answer? Not, how do I make time move faster? But, what does my soul need while I wait? Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need clearer boundaries. Maybe you need to stop checking. Maybe you need to speak more kindly to yourself. Maybe you need to prepare quietly. Maybe you need to let go of one old belief that says good things only come through struggle. Feel the quiet pressure of your feet against the floor. Let them remind you of roots. You are not floating outside your life. You are planted here. This day is part of your growth. This breath is part of your healing. This moment, even with its questions, is not wasted. One of the hardest things to accept is that growth often feels like nothing while it is happening. You may not notice the way your heart is becoming stronger. You may not notice how your old fears are losing power. You may not notice how you no longer chase certain things the way you once did. You may not notice how your prayers are becoming less frantic and more peaceful. But these are signs of roots. Roots are not loud. Roots do not perform. Roots simply hold. And when the time comes for the flower to rise, the roots make it possible. Without roots, the flower cannot last. Without inner readiness, the outer blessing may not feel safe. This is why divine timing can feel slow, but still be loving. Life is not only bringing something to you, life is also growing something within you. Maybe the relationship has not arrived because you are learning to stop begging for love and start becoming a home for yourself. Maybe the money has not arrived in the way you expected because you are learning to trust your own worth and make room for receiving. Maybe the healing has taken time because your body and heart are asking for gentleness, not pressure. Maybe the answer is not clear yet because your spirit is learning to listen beyond fear. This does not mean every hard thing is easy. It does not mean you should pretend you are never sad. It does not mean waiting does not ache. It means the ache is not proof that life is against you. It means the slow pace is not proof that the blessing is gone. It means the unseen season may still be sacred. My dear, do not dig up your seed every day with doubt. Do not stand over the soil demanding proof every hour. Do not call the garden empty just because the roots are hidden. The garden of your life has seasons. There is a season for planting, a season for watering, a season for waiting, a season for pruning, a season for blooming. And sometimes when you think nothing is happening, life is doing its deepest work. The soil is becoming rich. The roots are spreading. The stem is gathering strength. The flower is not absent. It is becoming. I am becoming. My good is becoming. My life is becoming with love. Let those words slow you down in a good way, not the slow of stuckness, the slow of trust, the slow of nature, the slow of dawn, roots, breath, and healing. There is a pace that belongs to fear, and there is a pace that belongs to peace. Fear rushes and still feels behind. Peace moves slowly and still arrives on time. You may have believed that if something does not happen quickly, it is not happening at all. But life does not always move in straight lines. Sometimes it circles back. Sometimes it pauses. Sometimes it removes what would have blocked you. Sometimes it closes one path because another is being made ready. Sometimes it lets you rest before the next step because it knows your heart has been through much. This is why trust is not passive. Trust is an inner action. It is the act of not turning the unknown into an enemy. It is the act of speaking gently while the roots grow. It is the act of caring for your body while the answer forms. It is the act of saying, I will do what is mine to do, and I will let life do what only life can do. What is yours to do today may be simple. Drink water, rest your eyes, send the message, clean one small space, take one honest step, pray without begging, breathe without bracing. Speak to yourself as someone who is worthy now, not only when the flower blooms, because you are worthy now. Before the proof, before the arrival, before the full answer. Your worth is not waiting for the season to change. Your worth is not hidden in the future. Your worth is not locked behind the door you want opened. You are worthy in the soil, worthy in the waiting, worthy in the becoming, worthy while the roots are growing deep. So if the mind says, why is it taking so long? Answer with love, because something sacred is forming. If the mind says, nothing is changing, answer with love. Roots are not always visible. If the mind says, I cannot trust this, answer with love. I can trust one breath. I can trust one step. I can trust that life is not finished with me. One breath, one step, one softer thought. This is how the waiting season begins to ease. Not always through a sudden outer change, though that may come. Sometimes it eases because your relationship with time changes. You stop treating time like an enemy. You stop treating today like a punishment. You stop treating the unseen like empty space. You begin to understand that life can be working even when it is quiet. Accept this divine timing today in the simplest way. Do not force yourself to love the waiting. Just stop calling it proof that you have been forgotten. Do not force yourself to understand every delay. Just stop using the delay as a reason to hurt your own heart. Do not force yourself to have perfect faith. Just give your fear one kind breath and let trust have a small place to stand. A small place is enough. A small yes is enough. A small root can grow. The soil of your life is not empty. The hidden places are not wasted. The quiet days are not meaningless. Life is still moving through them. Love is still present in them. Your spirit is still learning, healing, opening, and becoming ready for what can bless you deeply and stay. So place both feet on the ground again. Feel the earth beneath you. Let it hold you without asking you to prove anything. The earth does not rush the seed. The sky does not shout at the flower. The sun does not shame the dawn for taking time. Nature trusts process because nature knows that timing is part of life's wisdom. And you are part of nature too. You are allowed to have seasons. You are allowed to grow unseen. You are allowed to bloom in the right time. I trust the season I am in. I trust the roots I cannot see. I trust that life knows when the flower is ready. Let this be the truth you carry forward into the next breath. Divine timing is not a closed door. It is not a cruel delay. It is not life forgetting your name. It is life preparing the roots, the soil, the weather, and the strength needed for what comes next. And while that preparation is happening, you can be gentle with yourself. You can stop digging in fear. You can stop calling the soil empty. You can let the unseen become sacred again. Breathe, root, grow. Your waiting season is easing, my dear, not because you have forced life to move faster, but because something inside you is learning how to stop carrying tomorrow today. Let that truth come in slowly. You may have believed that relief could only come when the answer arrived, when the call came, when the door opened, when the money showed up, when the person changed, when the sign appeared, when your heart finally knew what to do. But there is a softer kind of relief that can arrive before the outer answer comes. There is a peace that can meet you in the middle of the waiting. There is a breath that can loosen the grip of fear even while life is still unfolding. This is the easing, not always sudden, not always loud, not always seen by others. Sometimes the first sign that your waiting season is easing is not a big change outside of you. Sometimes it is the way your chest does not feel as tight in the morning. Sometimes it is the way you stop checking so much. Sometimes it is the way one small thought comes in and says, Maybe I am safe even now. Sometimes it is the way your shoulders drop just a little after weeks or months of carrying what was never fully yours to hold. So take a slow breath now. Let the shoulders ducture up. Let the back soften. Imagine that you have been wearing a heavy coat. This coat is made of every worry you have carried, every what if, every fear of being too late, every old thought that says you must hold everything together or life will fall apart. You may have worn this coat for so long that you forgot it was heavy. You may have called it responsibility. You may have called it being careful. You may have called it staying prepared. But the body knows when fear has become too heavy. The small ache between your shoulder blades may know. The tired eyes may know. The tight jaw may know. The shallow breath may know. And today, you are allowed to put the coat down. You can put down the fear. You can put down the pressure. You can put down the thought that everything depends on you. This does not mean you stop caring. This does not mean you become careless with your life. This does not mean you sit back and refuse to take the next step. It means you stop confusing fear with love. It means you stop believing that your worry is the thing holding your life together. It means you understand that life has been carrying many things you never had the power to control. Control says, carry it all. Grace says, put down what was never yours to hold. Control says, if you stop worrying, everything will fall apart. Grace says, if you stop worrying, you may finally hear what life is trying to say. Control says, you must know the whole future. Grace says, you only need this breath. For 1 minute, let tomorrow belong to tomorrow. Just 1 minute. You can pick the worry back up later if you truly want to. But for this 1 minute, let it rest on the ground beside you. Let the heavy coat slide off your shoulders. Let your body feel what it is like to not be in charge of every outcome. Let your hands open. Let the breath become a little deeper. Let your heart hear this. You do not have to carry the whole future in order to be safe. I do not have to carry the whole future. Today, I let life carry me too. There is a kind of peace that comes before the answer. It is quiet. It does not make a show of itself. It does not always change your whole life in one moment. It begins as a small space inside the fear, a little room where your breath can move, a little softness where the hard story used to be, a little trust where panic once sat. This peace does not say, everything must happen now. It says, I can be here now. It does not say, I need proof before I breathe. It says, breathing is allowed even without proof. It does not say, I will only rest when I understand. It says, rest may help me understand. My dear, you may have spent so much time waiting for life to give you peace that you forgot you can offer peace to yourself today. You can speak to yourself in a way that helps the waiting season soften. You can stop feeding the thought that every quiet day is a bad sign. You can stop telling your nervous system that nothing is safe until the future is fixed. You can stop living as if the next answer is the only place where love can find you. Love can find you here, in this room, in this breath, in this exact season. Sometimes the waiting season becomes painful because we keep leaning our whole body into the future. We leave the present moment empty because we have placed all our hope somewhere ahead. We say, when it happens, I will relax. When it changes, I will smile. When I know, I will feel safe. But the body cannot live in a future that has not arrived. The body lives here, the heart beats here, the breath moves here. So when we send all our safety into tomorrow, today begins to feel abandoned. This is why the waiting becomes so heavy. Not because you are weak, because you have been asking today to hold tomorrow, next month, next year, and every possible outcome at once. No wonder you are tired. No wonder your soul has been asking for softness. No wonder the thought of divine timing feels both beautiful and hard to accept. So return to today, not forever, just now. Feel the place where you are sitting or standing. Notice the air around your face. Notice the weight of your body being supported. Notice the small ache between your shoulder blades, not with fear, but with kindness. That ache may be saying, I have carried too much. Let it speak. Let it be heard. Let it begin to release. Release. Lighter. Enough. Your waiting season begins to ease when you stop making yourself responsible for things that belong to life. You are responsible for your words, your choices, your healing, your next honest step, your willingness to grow, your kindness toward yourself. But you are not responsible for controlling every person, every door, every timing, every response, every outcome, every hidden movement of the universe. There are things you can do, and there are things you must allow. Knowing the difference is peace. When you try to do what only life can do, you suffer. When you try to force someone to understand before they are ready, you suffer. When you try to make a door open before it's time, you suffer. When you try to see the whole map before taking one step, you suffer. But when you return to what is yours, the breath, the next step, the kind word, the honest prayer, the open hand, something inside you becomes lighter. This is not giving up. This is returning to your proper place in your own life. You are a partner with life, not the manager of the whole universe. You are a soul being guided, not a machine that must produce perfect outcomes. You are a living being, not a clock. You are allowed to move with the rhythm of grace. This is where many people miss the miracle. stay thin. The miracle is only the thing they are waiting for. But sometimes the first miracle is that you stop hurting yourself while you wait. Sometimes the first miracle is that you wake up and do not speak to yourself with fear. Sometimes the first miracle is that you feel a little space in your chest where there used to be tightness. Sometimes the first miracle is that you say, I do not know what will happen, but I will not abandon myself today. That is holy. That is healing. That is the waiting season easing. The old you may have thought peace meant everything outside must be settled. But the new you is learning that peace can begin as an inner permission. Permission to stop bracing. Permission to stop blaming yourself. Permission to let the day be simple. Permission to not solve your entire life before sunset. Permission to let the unanswered things remain unanswered for one more breath without turning them into pain. You are allowed to let some things remain unanswered for now. You are allowed to say, I will know when it is time to know. You are allowed to say, I trust the part of the path I cannot see. You are allowed to say, I have done enough for today. My dear, the waiting season may have taught you how strong you are, but now it is time for it to teach you how supported you are. Strength is beautiful, but you were never meant to live only in strength. You were also meant to receive, to rest, to be held, to be surprised by good, to feel that life has arms even when they are invisible. So imagine again that heavy coat slipping from your shoulders. It has pockets full of old fear. One pocket holds the fear that you are behind. Another holds the fear that what you want will never come. Another holds the fear that you should have done more. Another holds the fear that life gives to others, but forgets you. Let the coat fall. You do not need to search every pocket today. You do not need to explain every fear. You can simply put it down. Breathe without it. Feel the space around your shoulders. Feel the air touching the body. Feel the quiet power of not carrying what cannot be solved right now. I release what is too heavy for this moment. I give the future back to life. I allow this day to become lighter. This is how waiting becomes sacred instead of painful. Not because you enjoy every delay, but because you stop letting delay steal your entire inner world. Not because you never feel fear, but because you no longer let fear be the only voice in the room. Not because you know exactly what comes next, but because you remember that you can be kind to yourself while you do not know. And maybe, just maybe, the easing has already started. Maybe it started when you took the first breath. Maybe it started when your shoulders dropped. Maybe it started when you heard the woo. You are not late, and a small place inside you wanted to believe them. Maybe it started when you stopped fighting the pace of life for one quiet moment. Accept this divine timing today, not as a demand, but as a kindness. Let it be a soft sentence, not a hard command. Let it mean, today I will stop making time my enemy. Let it mean, today I will stop using the delay to hurt myself. Let it mean, today I will breathe as if life still loves me. Let it mean, today I will let the waiting season ease inside me first. Because when the inside eases, you begin to see differently. You notice what is still working. You notice where life has quietly helped you. You notice the little signs of support you may have missed when fear was loud. You notice that not every closed door is cruel. Not every pause is punishment. Not every slow season is empty. Some seasons are slow because they are sacred. Some seasons are quiet because they are deep. Some seasons ask you to become gentle enough to receive what you once tried to chase. So place your hand over your heart again. Feel the steady movement under your palm. Your heart has kept going, even through the waiting, even through the questions, even through the nights when your mind would not rest. Your heart has stayed with you. Can you stay with it now? Can you speak to it like someone you love? Can you stop asking it to be strong every second? Say softly, my heart, you are safe to rest. My life is moving in divine order. My waiting season is easing now. Do not rush the words. Let them land like warm hands. Let them touch the tired places. Let them remind the body that there is no emergency in this moment. There may be things to do later. There may be steps to take. There may be choices to make. But right now, in this breath, you are allowed to soften. Right now, nothing needs to be forced. Right now, you can put down the coat. Right now, you can let life carry what your hands can no longer hold. And when the mind asks, but when will it happen? Answer gently, at the right time. When the mind asks, but what if I am forgotten? Answer, I am held by life. When the mind asks, but what if this waiting never ends? Answer, this moment is already easing. I can meet the next moment when it comes. This is how you return to peace. Not all at once, not perfectly, but breath by breath. You are not required to become fearless today. You are only invited to become softer with yourself. You are not required to understand all of divine timing. You are only invited to stop fighting it for a little while. You are not required to know how life will answer. You are only invited to believe that an answer can come in a way that blesses you. And if all you can do today is breathe, that is enough. If all you can do today is stop one painful thought from becoming a whole story, that is enough. If all you can do today is whisper, I am willing to trust, that is enough. Because easing begins in small places. A small breath, a small release, a small moment where you remember that your life is not against you. Your waiting season is easing, my dear. Let it ease in your shoulders. Let it ease in your jaw. Let it ease in the way you speak to yourself. Let it ease in the quiet knowing that you are not alone in time. Life is here. Grace is here. You are here. and here is enough for this breath. There is a hidden gift inside the words, not yet, even though the heart may not always want to hear them. When life says not yet, the mind can feel rejected. It can feel like a door has closed. It can feel like the answer has moved farther away. But the soul, when it becomes quiet, can begin to hear something softer. Not yet does not always mean no. Not yet can mean a deeper yes is being prepared. Not yet can mean there is more room to make. Not yet can mean you are being ready to receive in peace. What if life is not keeping it from you, but making room within you? Let that question sit gently in the heart. Do not rush to answer. Just feel it. Imagine a room in a quiet house. This room is meant to welcome something beautiful, a blessing, a healing, a new beginning, a love, a chance, a deeper peace. But the room is crowded. There are old boxes on the floor, old fears in the corners, old beliefs stacked by the wall. There is not much space to move. And so life, in its wisdom, does not rush the guest into the room. Life begins to help you clear space first. This is one of the gifts of the waiting season. It shows you what is still taking up room inside. Make room for peace. Make room for worthiness. Make room for the good that does not need to be chased. Sometimes what you are waiting for is not far away because you are unworthy. Sometimes it is waiting because your inner room is being prepared. You may still be learning how to feel safe with good things. You may still be learning how to receive without pushing love away. You may still be learning how to stop expecting disappointment. You may still be learning that you do not have to earn every blessing through struggle. My dear, this is tender work. It is easy to say, I want good, but it is deeper to say, I am willing to feel safe when good comes. Many people ask life for love, but when love appears, old fear says, do not trust it. Many people ask for abundance, but when a chance appears, old unworthiness says, this cannot be for me. Many people ask for peace, but when life becomes quiet, the nervous system looks for danger because chaos has felt normal for too long. So the waiting season may not be empty at all. It may be helping your body learn peace before the blessing arrives. Relax the belly now. Breathe into the ribs. So feel the air moving just above your collarbones. Let the breath remind you that receiving does not have to be frightening. You receive breath all day. You receive support from the chair, the floor, the earth beneath you. You receive light without earning it. You receive the next heartbeat without begging for it. Life has been giving in many quiet ways. The waiting season invites you to notice this, so when a greater blessing comes, you do not meet it with fear. Old mind says, I am not ready. Soul says, I am becoming ready with love. Old mind says, good things do not stay. Soul says, I can learn to let good stay. Old mind says, I must protect myself by staying closed. Soul says, I can open slowly and still be safe. Write or whisper 3 words, I make room. That is all. I make room. Not I fix everything, not I become perfect, not I erase all fear today, just I make room. Room for a kinder thought, room for a softer morning, room for a new way of receiving, room for life to show up differently than it has before. Open room, receive. There may be old beliefs inside you that learn to expect lack. Maybe you learned that good things were not safe. Maybe you learned that love always leaves. Maybe you learned that rest must be earned. Maybe you learned that money only comes with fear. Maybe you learned that asking for too much is wrong. Maybe you learned that your needs were too heavy for others. These beliefs may have lived in the rooms of your mind for a long time. But a belief can be thanked and released. A belief can be seen and softened. A belief can leave when love is ready to move in. The next part is tender because it asks you to stop blaming yourself. You do not need to blame yourself for the old boxes in the room. You do not need to shame yourself for the fears you learned. You do not need to look at your old patterns and say, why am I like this? You can say, I see why I protected myself. I see why I closed. I see why I waited for proof. And now, gently, I am willing to make room for something new. This is how healing speaks. Not with blame, with understanding, not with pressure, with love. I make room for the good that is meant for me. I am willing to receive without fear. Let those words move through the body. Maybe one part of you believes them. Maybe another part says, I am not sure. That is all right. Do not push away the unsure part. Bring it with you. Let it sit near the doorway. Let it watch you make room. Let it learn that opening does not have to happen all at once. A house is not cleared in one breath. A heart is not healed in one sentence. A nervous system does not always trust peace the first time peace comes. Be patient with yourself. You are not failing because you need time. You are not broken because receiving feels unfamiliar. You are not behind because you are still learning how to believe that good can stay. There are many small ways to make room. You make room when you stop speaking to yourself with harsh words. You make room when you clear one small space in your home. You make room when you say no to what drains your spirit. You make room when you stop checking for proof every few minutes. You make room when you let the body rest without guilt. You make room when you say, maybe I am worthy now. These small acts matter. The soul hears them. The universe responds to them. Life feels the shift from I am closed and afraid to I am willing and open. You do not have to be wide open all at once. A little willingness can begin the change. Sometimes the blessing waits because it is not only about getting what you asked for. It is about becoming someone who can keep peace when it arrives. If love came, could you receive it without testing it again and again? If abundance came, could you hold it without fear that it must disappear? If healing came, could you let yourself live differently, or would the old pain still feel more familiar than freedom? These are not questions to shame you. They are questions that help you understand the sacred work of not yet. Not yet may be teaching you to stop pushing away the very good you have prayed for. Not yet may be teaching you to stop confusing calm with danger. Not yet may be teaching you that receiving is safe. My dear, the waiting season may be making a room inside you where the blessing can land and stay. Think of a cup. If the cup is already full of fear, there is little room for peace. If the cup is full of old stories, there is little room for new truth. If the cup is full of pressure, there is little room for joy. So life may gently tip the cup. It may bring certain feelings to the surface. It may show you what needs to be poured out. Not to punish you, but to make space. And yes, this can feel uncomfortable. Clearing space often does. When old fear leaves, the empty space can feel strange at first. You may not know who you are without the worry. You may not know how to wait without checking. You may not know how to desire without gripping. But slowly, the empty space becomes peaceful. Slowly, you realize that not every empty place needs to be filled with fear. Some empty places are holy. Some empty places are where new life begins. Room, space, breath. You are making room. There is a deeper kind of trust that says, I do not need the blessing to arrive before I become ready. I can become ready now. You can prepare your heart now. You can speak kindly now. You can clear old fear now. You can practice receiving now. You can say thank you for small good now. You can stop shrinking now. You can bless the life you have now while still opening to the life that is oming. This is not settling. This is alignment. There is a difference between accepting less than you deserve and accepting the present moment with peace. You are not being asked to settle for a life that hurts your soul. You are being asked to stop hating the step you are on. You are being asked to stop making the present moment an enemy just because it is not the full answer yet. You are being asked to make room inside this moment for grace. Grace can enter a waiting room. Grace can enter a quiet day. Grace can enter an unfinished story. Let this be simple. Today, you can make room by releasing one painful sentence. Maybe the sentence is, "It will never happen." Let that leave. Maybe the sentence is, "I am always forgotten." Let that leave. Maybe the sentence is, "I have to struggle for everything." Let that leave. You do not have to remove every old belief at once. Choose one. Open one window. Let a little fresh air into the room. I release the thought that life has forgotten me. I welcome the thought that life is preparing me. I make room for a kinder season. Feel the breath near the collarbones again. Let it move gently. Let it remind you that space is not scary. Space is where breath lives. Space is where light enters. Space is where new things can arrive. A closed room grows stale. An open room receives air. A closed heart grows tired. An open heart receives grace. And still, open slowly. Open with care. Open in a way that feels kind. There is no need to rip the doors off your heart. There is no need to pretend you are not afraid. There is no need to rush your healing to prove that you are spiritual. Real healing is honest. It says, I am afraid and I am willing. It says, I have been closed and I am learning. It says, I do not know how everything will happen, but I can make room for good. This is the hidden gift of not yet. It gives you time to become gentle enough to receive. It gives you time to notice where you still believe you must earn love. It gives you time to clear the room of fear. It gives you time to stop asking life for blessings while still calling yourself unworthy. It gives you time to become a safe place for your own good. My dear, what is meant for you in love will not be harmed by your healing. It will not be lost because you are learning. It will not disappear because you are taking time to make room. What belongs to your highest good is not so weak that it can be destroyed by a season of preparation. Trust this. Let it comfort you. Let it slow the panic. Your good is not running away. Your peace is not too far. Your life is not over because something has not arrived yet. Maybe not yet is making space for a better yes. Maybe not yet is clearing the room. Maybe not yet is teaching your heart to receive without shaking. Maybe not yet is not rejection at all. Maybe it is divine care in a form the mind does not yet understand. So today, do not ask only, when will it come? Ask, what room can I make for it? Do not ask only, why is it not here? Ask, what fear am I ready to release? Do not ask only, how much longer? Ask, how can I love myself while I wait? These questions bring your power back. Not control, power. The power to meet today with kindness. The power to clear one corner of the heart. The power to open the hands. The power to receive breath. The power to stop turning not yet into never. The power to say, I am becoming ready with love. I am becoming ready with love. I make room for peace. I make room for the good that is coming in right time. Let that be enough for now. Do not demand a full change from yourself in one moment. Just notice the room inside you becoming a little less crowded. Notice one box of fear being moved. Notice one window opening. Notice one soft breath entering. The hidden gift of not yet is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to prepare you. It is meant to make space. It is meant to help you receive in a way that feels calm, safe, and true. And when the door opens, when the guest arrives, when the blessing steps into the room, you will not meet it as someone starving for proof. You will meet it as someone who has made space for love. Open. Room. Receive. Before the full light appears, there is always a quiet beginning. Dawn does not arrive all at once. First, there is a small change in the darkness, a soft line of light, a gentle shift in the air. The sky does not become bright in one sudden moment. It opens slowly, tenderly, almost secretly. And if you are not paying attention, you may think nothing has changed. But something has changed. The day has begun before the sun is fully seen. Your life can be like this too, my dear. The change may begin before you have proof. The answer may begin before you can name it. The new season may begin before the old one has fully ended. This is why trusting the unseen matters. Because if you only trust life when everything is visible, your peace will always depend on proof. And proof is not always the first gift. Sometimes the first gift is a feeling that you can breathe again. Sometimes the first gift is a quiet thought that says, maybe it will be okay. Sometimes the first gift is a small sign, a gentle opening, a new strength, a peaceful pause, or one moment where fear is not as loud as it used to be. Before the proof, there can be peace. Before the answer, there can be trust. Before the door opens, there can be light. Let your chest lift gently now, as if receiving morning light. Not in a forced way, not with strain, just a soft lifting. Let the heart have room. Feel the dim light touching your face before the day fully begins. Imagine that the first light is touching the parts of you that have been tired from waiting. It does not demand anything from you. It simply arrives. Dawn. Soon. Trust. Dawn does not ask you to believe in the whole day at once. It only asks you to notice the first light. In the same way, life may not be asking you to believe in the whole path today. It may only be asking you to notice one small sign that not everything is as dark as fear says. One small piece, one small opening, one small kindness, one small moment of strength. Look for one small sign of light today. Just one. Not 10, not a perfect answer. One small sign. Maybe the sign is that you woke up and kept going. Maybe it is that your breath is softer than it was yesterday. Maybe it is that you did not react the old way. Maybe it is that you chose not to check, not to chase, not to speak harshly to yourself. Maybe it is that you are listening to words that help your heart trust again. That is light. that is movement. That is not nothing. Doubt says, I need to see it first. Faith says, I can feel the first light before the sun is high. Doubt says, nothing is changing. Faith says, the beginning may be quiet. Doubt says, show me proof. Faith says, let me become peaceful enough to notice proof when it comes. Before we continue, there is something gentle I want you to receive. The unseen is not empty. The unseen is full of movement. Seeds grow unseen. Babies grow unseen. Ideas form unseen. Healing begins unseen. Forgiveness begins unseen. New seasons begin unseen. Even the breath begins inside the body before it is released into the world. So much of life begins where the eyes cannot reach. Why would your blessing be different? Why would your healing be different? Why would your divine timing need to show everything at once? There is a sacred kindness in the unseen. If every part of the future were shown to you today, your nervous system might feel overwhelmed. If every change happened at once, your heart might not know how to hold it. If every door opened in one moment, you might not know which way to walk. So life often gives the next light, not the whole sun. The next breath, not the whole lifetime. The next step, not the whole staircase. This is not cruelty. This is care. Life gives what can be held now, and then more is revealed. My dear, you may want the full answer because the unknown has felt unsafe. That is understandable. The human heart likes clear signs. It likes dates. It likes promises. It likes knowing that the effort has not been wasted. But sometimes life teaches trust by giving only enough light for the next step. Not because it wants to keep you afraid, but because it wants to bring you back into relationship with the present moment. If you had every answer, you might stop listening. If you had the full map, you might rush past the healing. If you knew every detail, you might try to control the timing again. So life says, walk with me, breathe with me, trust this step, more will be shown. I trust the first light. I trust the quiet beginning. I trust what is coming into view. Let those words become soft inside you. The first light is enough for the first step. You do not need to see the whole day to rise. You do not need to know the whole path to move. You do not need to understand the whole season to stop fighting this moment. There may be changes already happening in you that you have not honored yet. Maybe you are less willing to beg for love. Maybe you are more aware of your thoughts. Maybe you can name your fear instead of becoming it. Maybe you are starting to rest without as much guilt. Maybe you are seeing that waiting does not mean you are weak. Maybe you are beginning to trust that your timing is not a mistake. These are signs, small signs, holy signs. Do not ignore them because they are not dramatic. Many true changes begin softly. A new life often begins as a new sentence. A new season often begins as one different choice. A healing often begins as one moment where you do not attack yourself. A blessing often begins as one inner shift that says, I am ready to receive in a new way. If this is helping your heart soften, you may write, I trust the timing of my life below. Let it be more than a comment. Let it be a small promise to yourself. Let it be a gentle line of light in the middle of your waiting season. Let it remind your own heart that you are choosing trust, not because everything is clear, but because you deserve peace while life becomes clear. I trust the timing of my life. Simple words, deep words, a soft promise. And if you do not write them anywhere outside yourself, write them within. Let them be placed on the inner wall of your heart. Let them be spoken to the tired parts of you. Let them be breathed into the places that have been waiting for proof. I trust the timing of my life, not because I never feel fear, not because I understand everything, not because the waiting has been easy, but because I am ready to stop making fear my only guide. This is the moment where trust becomes practical. It is not only a lovely idea, it becomes the way you move through the day. You trust the unseen by not checking every hour. You trust the unseen by taking care of your body. You trust the unseen by doing the next honest thing. You trust the unseen by refusing to make a disaster out of a quiet moment. You trust the unseen by letting today have light, even if tomorrow is not fully known. The unseen asks for a different kind of sight, not the eyes, the heart, the body, the quiet knowing. Sometimes you can feel that something is changing before you can prove it. Maybe your old life does not fit the same way. Maybe the fear that used to control you is losing power. Maybe the desire in your heart is becoming calmer and cleaner. Maybe you are no longer willing to chase what costs you your peace. Maybe the waiting has made you wiser, not weaker. Honor that. Honor the inner dawn. Honor the soft beginning. There is a moment before sunrise when the world is still quiet. Birds may begin to stir. The air may feel different. The darkness is still there, but it is no longer the same darkness. It has been touched by what is coming. This is how your waiting season can feel when it begins to ease. The outer picture may look similar, but inside, something has shifted. The fear is not as sharp. The hope is not as desperate. The breath is not as shallow. The heart is not as closed. This is the first light. Do not dismiss it. Do not say, it is not enough. The first light is how morning begins. My dear, you do not have to demand the full sun from life today. You can bless the first light. You can say, thank you for this small piece. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this little space in my chest. Thank you for helping me trust what I cannot yet see. Gratitude helps you notice the dawn before the world is bright. And when you notice light, light grows in your awareness. When you notice support, support grows in your awareness. When you notice peace, peace grows in your awareness. This is not pretending. This is training the heart to see what fear overlooks. Fear only searches for danger. Trust searches for life. Fear says, "What is missing?" Trust says, "What is beginning?" Fear says, "Where is the proof?" Trust says, "Where is the first light?" Fear says, "I cannot be okay until I know." Trust says, "I can be gentle with myself while I wait." Choose the gentler question. Where is the first light? Ask it in the morning. Ask it when the mind becomes heavy. Ask it when you feel tempted to call the whole season empty. Where is the first light? Maybe it is in a kind word. Maybe it is in a small chance. Maybe it is in the fact that you did not give up. Maybe it is in the way your body is finally asking for rest. Maybe it is in the deep desire you still carry, which means your spirit has not gone numb. There is light here. There is movement here. There is life here. You are not being asked to trust a cold, empty unknown. You are being asked to trust a living, loving unseen. The unseen is not a blank wall. It is more like the sky before sunrise, holding colors that have not appeared yet. It is more like a garden under the soil, holding roots that have not broken through yet. It is more like a room being prepared, holding space for what has not entered yet. You have already learned this in many ways. You trusted the next breath before it came. You trusted sleep, to carry you through the night. You trusted your body in countless small ways. You have lived through seasons you once thought you could not survive. You have seen answers arrive in forms you did not expect. You have been guided before, even if you only saw it later. So let that memory support you. Life has guided me before. Life is guiding me now. Life will show me the next step in the right time. These words are steady. Let them become an anchor in the unseen. You do not need to know everything. You only need to stay open enough to receive the next step when it comes. You only need to care for the part of you that feels afraid. You only need to remember that a quiet beginning is still a beginning. And if today feels dark, do not shame yourself. Some mornings are cloudy. Some seasons have fog. Some hearts need extra tenderness before they can see light. That is all right. Trust does not mean you never have a heavy day. Trust means that even on a heavy day, you do not call yourself abandoned. Even on a cloudy day, you remember the sun still exists. Even when you cannot feel faith clearly, you let one small breath carry you. One breath can be enough. One small sign can be enough. One soft yes can be enough. The waiting season is not asking you to stare into darkness and pretend it is bright. It is asking you to notice the first light when it comes. It is asking you to stop denying the small signs. because they are not yet the whole answer. It is asking you to let hope become calmer, steadier, kinder. It is asking you to trust that divine timing is not against you just because it is quiet. Accept this divine timing today by trusting the unseen stage of your life. Trust the part where the sky is changing, but the sun has not fully risen. Trust the part where your heart is healing, but your outer life has not yet caught up. Trust the part where the answer is forming in ways you cannot track. Trust the part where your only job is to breathe, prepare, listen, and take the next honest step. You are not standing in empty darkness. You are standing before dawn. The first light may already be touching you. Let your chest lift again. Let your face soften. Let your hands rest open. Let your whole body receive the simple truth that life does not have to show everything at once for you to be safe. The morning can begin with one line of light. The path can begin with one step. Trust can begin with one breath. I trust the first light. I trust the quiet beginning. I trust what is coming into view. Let this be your practice now. When the mind demands the whole answer, look for the first light. When fear says nothing is happening, look for the small change. When your heart feels tired, place a hand over it and say, "The dawn is still coming." Not as a way to rush life, as a way to comfort yourself while life unfolds. The unseen is not empty. The quiet is not proof of absence. The first light is enough for the next step. Breathe. Dawn. Trust. You are not late for your own life, my dear. Let that sentence rest in you before the mind argues with it. You are not late because someone else arrived earlier. You are not late because another person found love before you did. You are not late because someone built the life you wanted faster than you. You are not late because your healing has taken years. You are not late because your path has been slower, quieter, or more confusing than you hoped. The soul does not move by the clock of fear. The soul moves by truth. The soul moves by readiness. The soul moves by divine timing. So take a slow breath now. Let both hands rest open on your lap. Feel the quiet heaviness of your hands resting there, no longer reaching, no longer grabbing, no longer trying to pull the future closer by force. Just open, just present, just willing. Enough. Your time. Stay. Many hearts suffer because they keep measuring life against an invisible clock. By this age, I should have done this. By this year, I should have had that. By now, I should be healed. By now, I should be chosen. By now, I should understand everything. And every should becomes a little stone in the heart. But my dear, who gave fear the right to decide the timing of your life? Who told you that your path had to look like someone else's path? Who told you that a blessing arriving later is less sacred than a blessing arriving early? You did not miss your scene. You did not lose your place. You did not arrive too late for your own life. Think of life as a quiet theater, not a place of pressure, but a sacred stage where every soul has its own entrance. Some enter early, some enter slowly. Some stand behind the curtain for a long time, not because they are forgotten, but because their moment is still being prepared. The curtain does not rise too soon. The light does not shine before the scene is ready. The music begins when the whole moment can hold it. Your scene is not missing. Your scene is being prepared. There is no peace in measuring your sacred life with fear's clock. The clock of fear is always shouting. It says, hurry. It says, compare. It says, you are behind. It says, look at everyone else. It says, if it has not happened by now, it never will. But wisdom speaks in a softer voice. Wisdom says, no one else is living your timing. Wisdom says, no one else carries your lessons, your healing, your path, your becoming. Wisdom says, do not use another person's season to shame your own. Comparison says, everyone else is ahead. Wisdom says, no one else is living your sacred timing. Comparison says, you should be further by now. Wisdom says, you are exactly where your soul is learning. Comparison says, you missed it. Wisdom says, what is truly for you can still meet you. For 2 minutes, bless your exact age, your exact path, your exact place. Do not bless it because it has been easy. Bless it because it is yours. Bless the years that taught you strength. Bless the delays that taught you patience. Bless the closed doors that taught you self-respect. Bless the quiet seasons that taught you how to listen. Bless the tears that softened you. Bless the waiting that is teaching you trust. You do not need to love every part of your past to bless the fact that you are still here. You are still here, still breathing, still becoming, still loved by life. I release the clock of fear. I honor the sacred timing of my life. Let those words move through your body. I release the clock of fear. I honor the sacred timing of my life. They may feel strange at first because the mind has been trained to measure, compare, and rush. But the heart understands. The heart knows that life is not a race. The heart knows that every soul blooms in its own season. This next truth may free you from years of pressure. Arriving later does not mean arriving wrong. Healing later is still healing. Love later is still love. Peace later is still peace. A door opening later is still an open door. The ego wants early proof. The soul wants true alignment. The ego wants to say, look, I made it. The soul wants to say, I am ready to receive this in a way that is loving, steady, and real. So if something is taking longer than you hoped, do not immediately call it failure. Ask a kinder question. What is life maturing in me? What strength is being formed? What old pattern is being cleared? What truth am I finally ready to live? There are people who receive things quickly and cannot hold them with peace. There are people who get what they wanted and then realize they had not learned how to feel safe with it. There are people who rush into doors that were never meant for them. Fast does not always mean blessed. Slow does not always mean blocked. Sometimes slow means protected. Sometimes slow means deep. Sometimes slow means lasting. My dear, stop using speed as proof of love. Life does not love you less because it has moved carefully with you. Life may be loving you deeply by not allowing you to enter what your soul has outgrown. Life may be loving you by slowing down what would have harmed your peace. Life may be loving you by teaching you to stand in your worth before the next blessing arrives. The sacred stage of your life does not need another person's script. You are not here to repeat someone else's timeline. You are not here to copy someone else's doorway. You are here to listen to the quiet call of your own soul. So let the hands stay open. Notice how open hands feel different from reaching hands. Reaching hands are tense. Open hands are ready. Reaching hands say, I must grab this before it disappears. Open hands say, what is mine in love can come to me in peace. This is the energy of divine timing. Not passive, not helpless, not asleep, open, ready, trusting. The mind may still ask, but how long? That is all right. The mind likes numbers. The soul likes truth. And the truth is, you do not need to know the exact hour of the blessing to live today with dignity. You do not need to know the date of the answer to stop hurting yourself with comparison. You do not need to know when the curtain rises to trust that your scene has not been erased. A sacred life cannot be measured by public proof. Some of your greatest growth has happened where no one saw it. Some of your deepest healing happened on ordinary days when you simply chose not to give up. Some of your strongest moments happened when there was no applause, no audience, no sign that anyone understood the weight you were carrying. But life saw, your soul saw, the universe saw, and those unseen victories matter. The day you chose peace instead of panic mattered. The day you did not chase what hurt you mattered. The day you spoke kindly to yourself mattered. The day you rested instead of forcing mattered. The day you trusted one more time mattered. These are not small things. These are sacred rehearsals. These are the quiet moments before the curtain rises. These are the moments that prepare you to stand in the next part of your life without shrinking. So when fear says you are behind, answer gently, I am in preparation. When comparison says, look at them, answer, I bless their path and return to mine. When the old mind says, it is too late, answer, divine timing does not expire because fear is impatient. Your timing is not lost. Your blessing is not confused. Your life is not a mistake. You may have taken turns you did not expect. You may have lived chapters you would not have chosen. You may have had to begin again more than once. But beginning again is not proof that you failed. Beginning again is proof that life still has movement for you. It is proof that your spirit still says yes. It is proof that the curtain has not closed. Stay with yourself. Bless your timing. Stop punishing your life for being different. I honor my path. I bless my timing. I allow my life to unfold without shame. Let those words be simple and strong. I honor my path. I bless my timing. I allow my life to unfold without shame. This is how the pressure begins to leave. This is how the heart stops racing against a clock that was never sacred. This is how the waiting season eases. You stop looking at life like a missed deadline and begin to see it as a holy unfolding. Your life does not need to look impressive to be guided. Your healing does not need to be fast to be real. Your future does not need to arrive today for you to be loved today. So take one more breath with your hands open. Imagine the stage of your life in quiet darkness, not empty, but ready. Imagine the curtain soft and still. Imagine that behind it, life is arranging what belongs to you. Not in panic, not in punishment, in order, in wisdom, in love. And when the right moment comes, what needs to open will open. Until then, do not shame the waiting. Do not rush the scene. Do not leave yourself before your moment arrives. What belongs to you in love can still find you. Not because you chase it, not because you panic, not because you hold your breath until it appears. What belongs to you can still find you because divine timing knows the way. Your good does not need your fear to guide it. Your blessing does not need your worry to remember your name. What is truly aligned with your highest good is not lost just because it has taken time. Open your palms now. Let them face upward. Feel the soft air touching the center of your open palms. Let your hands become a small sign to your body. I am not grabbing. I am not begging. I am not forcing. I am willing to receive in peace. Yes, open. Here. This is a very different energy from chasing. Chasing says, it is leaving me. Receiving says, what is mine can meet me. Chasing says, I must prove I deserve this. Receiving says, I am worthy of good. Chasing says, if I do not run after it, I will lose it. Receiving says, what is true does not need fear to hold it. What belongs to love can find me. What belongs to peace can reach me. What belongs to my highest good knows the way. The next part is the one most people skip. Your energy while waiting matters. Not because you must be perfect, not because one fearful thought ruins everything. Not because you have to force yourself to feel happy when you are tired. but because the way you wait becomes the home your blessing enters. If you wait in fear, your body becomes tight. If you wait in anger, your heart becomes guarded. If you wait in shame, your spirit becomes small. But if you begin to wait with openness, even imperfect openness, your whole inner world changes. The waiting season becomes less like a prison and more like a place of preparation. Lack says, grab it before it disappears. Abundance says, what is true does not need fear to hold it. Lack says, there is not enough for me. Abundance says, life has many doors. Lack says, I must chase or be forgotten. Abundance says, I can receive what is aligned with me. Say 5 soft yeses to receiving, not loud, not forced, just soft. Yes to peace, yes to trust, yes to support, yes to right timing, yes to the good that can find me. Let each yes open a little space inside you. Maybe the first yes feels unsure. Maybe the second feels tender. Maybe by the third, your breath shifts. Maybe by the 5th, your palms feel a little more open. This is how receiving begins, not as a dramatic change, but as a new posture in the body and soul. My dear, what you are meant to receive does not need you to live in a constant state of alarm. In fact, panic often makes it harder to hear guidance. Panic makes every door look urgent. Panic makes every silence feel like rejection. Panic makes you choose from fear instead of peace. But calm helps you listen. Calm helps you notice. Calm helps you recognize the difference between what is truly yours and what your fear is trying to grab. You do not need to chase what recognizes your soul. Let that line touch the deepest place in you. You do not need to chase what recognizes your soul. If something is truly aligned with your life, it will not require you to abandon yourself to keep it. It will not require you to lose your peace to prove your love. It will not require you to shrink, beg, twist, or live in fear. What belongs to your highest good will meet the real you, not the panicked version of you trying to earn safety. This does not mean you never take action. Divine timing is not about sitting still forever. It is about moving from alignment instead of fear. It is about taking the step that feels honest, not the step that comes from panic. It is about preparing, listening, showing up, saying yes when your heart knows, and saying no when your peace says no. It is about being available to life without trying to control life. You are not a magnet for blessings because you strain. You become magnetic when you align. You align when your words, body, thoughts, and choices begin to say the same thing. I am willing to receive what is right for me in the right way at the right time. I am aligned with what is truly mine. I do not chase. I receive with peace. Let your palms stay open as those words settle. I do not chase. I receive with peace. This is not weakness. This is deep inner strength. It takes strength to stop running after what keeps moving away. It takes strength to stop forcing doors that make your spirit tired. It takes strength to trust that life has more than one way to bless you. Sometimes the thing you wanted was only one form of the feeling you truly desired. You may have wanted one person, but your soul wanted love. You may have wanted one job, but your soul wanted purpose and support. You may have wanted one answer, but your soul wanted peace. You may have wanted one exact path, but your soul wanted freedom. When you cling to one form, you may miss the many ways life is trying to answer the deeper prayer. This is why trust matters. Trust keeps the hands open. Trust says, I bless this desire, but I do not imprison life inside one shape. Trust says, I welcome my good, even if it comes differently than I imagined. Trust says, I am willing to be surprised by love. My dear, life is not limited to your first plan. Life has hidden roots. Life has quiet helpers. Life has doors you have not seen yet. Life has timing that can bring things together in ways the mind could never arrange. The mind often sees only one road and panics when that road is blocked. But divine timing sees the whole map. So if one door has not opened, do not decide that all doors are closed. If one person did not choose you, do not decide that love has rejected you. If one chance did not work, do not decide that abundance has ended. If one season has been slow, do not decide that your whole life will be slow. What belongs to your highest good knows the way. It may come through a different door. It may come through a new person. It may come through a quiet idea. It may come through a delay that protected you. It may come through a path you did not plan. This is not about giving up your desire. It is about giving up the fear that says your desire can only come through one narrow opening. The universe is wider than that. Love is wider than that. Life is more creative than fear allows you to believe. So become open again. Not desperate, open. Not passive, open. Not afraid, open. There is a calm kind of receiving that says, I trust what is mine to reach me, and I trust what is not mine to leave with grace. This is freedom, because when you trust this, you no longer have to hold everything with tight hands. You can bless what comes. You can bless what goes. You can bless what pauses. You can bless what changes. You can let life sort what your fear cannot understand. If something leaves, it may be making space. If something pauses, it may be finding its time. If something changes, it may be becoming more aligned. If something does not arrive, it may not be the final answer. Breathe, receive. Let the hands stay open. Your waiting season eases when you trust that nothing truly meant for your soul can be lost through divine order. You can miss what was not aligned. You can grieve what did not stay. You can feel sadness over what did not happen. But you do not have to turn that sadness into a life sentence. You do not have to say, because this did not happen, nothing good will happen. That is fear speaking beyond its wisdom. The heart can grieve and still open. The heart can wait and still receive. The heart can release one form and still welcome good. I welcome the good that comes in peace. I release the need to chase. I trust life to know the way. Let this be the energy you carry, not a closed fist, not a fearful race, a calm magnet, a steady heart, open hands, soft breath, clear worth, a quiet yes. You are not forgotten by what belongs to you. You are not invisible to life. You are not outside the reach of grace. What belongs to you in love, to Ruth and peace can still find you. And when it comes, may you be open enough to receive it without fear. May you be calm enough to recognize it. May you be wise enough not to chase what costs you your peace. May you be brave enough to let divine timing bring the right thing, not just the fast thing. Yes, open, receive. Do not let the future take the whole room of today. Read that slowly inside your heart. Do not let the future take the whole room of today. It is easy during a waiting season to treat the present moment like a hallway with no value. You may think, I will live when the answer comes. I will rest when I know. I will feel joy when the blessing arrives. I will begin when life becomes clear. But my dear, today is not only a waiting room. Today is still life. Today still has breath. Today still has beauty. Today still has small doors of peace. Now, here, flow. The river of life is not waiting to begin someday. It is moving now, even in the waiting, even in the questions, even before the answer. The current is still carrying small gifts through this day. A warm drink, a quiet corner, a kind word, a soft piece of light on the wall, the feeling of clean water on your hands, the comfort of one deep breath. These may seem simple, but they are not nothing. They are life saying, I am still here. Live while you wait. Breathe while you wait. Bless what is here while you wait. Find one beautiful thing in the room within 30 seconds. Do not search for something grand. Let it be small. The shape of light, the color of a cloth, the sound of your own breath, the warmth of the cup you forgot to drink, the way your hand can rest over your heart, the way your body is still here, still trying, still giving you another day. This is not a distraction from your desire. This is how you stop the waiting from swallowing you. Waiting says, I cannot be happy until it arrives. Present says, I can receive small goodness now. Waiting says, life begins later. Present says, life is touching me here. Waiting says, this moment is only empty space. Present says, this moment still carries grace. There is a small practice here that can make waiting feel holy. Each day, find one thing you can bless before the answer comes. Bless your tea. Bless your pillow. Bless the breath in your lungs. Bless your feet for carrying you. Bless the little strength you have. Bless the quiet courage it takes to keep going when you are not sure what comes next. Blessing the present does not mean you stop wanting the future. It means you stop abandoning the present. It means you stop treating today like it has no worth because it does not yet contain the answer you wanted. Today has worth. This breath has worth. You have worth, even while you wait. I let today have goodness too. I do not postpone peace. Let those words be gentle. I let today have goodness too. I do not postpone peace. This is a powerful way to live, because when you postpone peace, the heart becomes tired. It keeps standing at the edge of tomorrow asking, are we safe yet? But when you allow peace today, the body begins to trust life again. You can still take steps while you wait. You can still answer one message. You can still wash one cup. You can still open a window. You can still stretch your body. You can still say a prayer. You can still write down one fear and one kinder truth. You can still choose one action that says, I am participating in my life. The waiting season can make people freeze. They stop caring for the room they are in because they are dreaming of another room. They stop caring for the body they have because they are waiting for healing. They stop caring for today because they are waiting for a better tomorrow. But caring for today is not a betrayal of tomorrow. Caring for today prepares you for tomorrow. Do not let the future take the whole room of today. Leave some space for now. Leave some space for beauty. Leave some space for breath. Think of yourself beside a river. You cannot grab the whole river. You cannot force it to move faster by shouting at it. You cannot hold tomorrow's water in your hands today, but you can place your feet near the current. You can listen. You can drink from what is here. You can trust that the river is moving even beyond the bend. Your life is like that. There are parts you can see and parts you cannot see. The bend may hide what is coming, but the river has not stopped. The current is still carrying. Life is still moving. Divine timing is still flowing. And while you wait for what is around the bend, do not forget to receive what is already beside you. My dear, there is peace in becoming present again. Not perfectly, not every moment, but gently. You may still have waves of fear. That is all right. When a wave comes, do not shame yourself. Come back to one thing you can touch, one thing you can see, one breath you can feel, one kind sentence you can speak. This is how you return to the river instead of drowning in thought. Say, I am here. Say, this breath is here. Say, life is here too. Simple words can bring you back. There is a reason the present moment is so healing. The present moment is the only place where you can actually receive life. You cannot breathe tomorrow's air today. You cannot drink tomorrow's water today. You cannot rest in next month's bed today. You can only receive now. So if the mind lives only in tomorrow, the body begins to feel unfed. It is waiting for a meal that is not yet on the table, while today's bread is sitting quietly nearby. Receive today's bread. Receive today's breath. Receive today's small murk. This does not mean your longing is wrong. Your longing may be sacred. It may be pointing you towards something true, but longing needs kindness. If longing is mixed with fear, it becomes pain. If longing is held in trust, it becomes prayer. So let your desire be a prayer, not a punishment. Let it open you, not empty you. Let it guide you, not steal your whole day. I can want what is coming and still bless what is here. I can wait with love. I can live today. Let that be your river prayer. I can want what is coming and still bless what is here. This is balance. This is maturity. This is how the waiting season becomes softer. You do not deny the future, and you do not abandon the present. You hold both with open hands. Maybe today is simple. Maybe nothing dramatic happens. Maybe there is no big sign. Maybe the answer still feels far away. But even then, today can be lived with tenderness. You can make the bed. You can step outside for one breath of air. You can bless your body. You can eat slowly. You can stop speaking to yourself like an enemy. You can choose one small act that says, I am still worth caring for. You are still worth caring for. Before the answer, before the change, before the full bloom. Sometimes the best way to tell life you are ready is to stop postponing your own love. Stop waiting for the future to prove that you deserve gentleness. Give gentleness now. Stop waiting for the blessing to prove that you matter. Treat yourself as if you matter now. Stop waiting for the door to open before you become peaceful. Let peace enter through the door of this breath. The river is moving. The day is here. Your heart is still alive. Bless this. Bless the small. Bless the now. When you live today while you wait, you become less afraid of time. You stop seeing each day without the answer as a lost day. You begin to see it as a lived day. A day where you practiced trust. A day where you chose one gentle thought. A day where you noticed beauty. A day where you did not abandon yourself. That is not wasted time. That is sacred time. So today, let the future have its own place, but do not give it the whole house. Let tomorrow be tomorrow. Let divine timing do what only divine timing can do. And let this moment give you what it can give. A breath, a softening, a small beauty, a quiet return. I let today have goodness too. I do not postpone peace. I live gently while life unfolds. Before we close, let this truth settle deeper. Your waiting season can soften even before the final answer arrives. It can soften because you are no longer fighting every moment. It can soften because you are no longer measuring your life against fear's clock. It can soften because you are learning to receive instead of chase. It can soften because you are allowing today to have goodness too. It can soften because your heart is beginning to trust that divine timing is not against you. Place one hand over your heart again, just as you did at the beginning. Feel the steady rise and fall of your chest under your hand. This is where you return. This is where you remember. This is where you rest. Rest, trust, held. At the beginning, you may have felt tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of trying to understand why life has taken the time it has taken. And now, even if the outer question is not fully answered, something inside you can be different, a little softer, a little calmer, a little less alone. This is a blessing. Do not overlook it. Sometimes we ask life for a miracle, and the first miracle is not the thing we wanted. The first miracle is peace inside the wanting. The first miracle is breath inside the unknown. The first miracle is the moment we stop using the delay as proof that we are unloved. I bless the waiting. I bless the becoming. I bless the timing I cannot yet see. Say those words softly. I bless the waiting. I bless the becoming. I bless the timing I cannot yet see. This does not mean you bless pain as if pain was easy. It means you bless the deeper work happening through the season. You bless the parts of you that have become stronger. You bless the parts that are still tender. You bless the path, even while it is unfinished. My dear, accept this divine timing today, not because you understand everything, but because your heart deserves rest. Accept it as an act of kindness toward yourself. Accept it as a soft release of the war with time. Accept it as a way of saying, I will stop making this season harder by fighting every part of it. You can still desire, you can still pray, you can still prepare, you can still take the next step. But you do not have to suffer while life is arranging what you cannot see. One more breath, one more release, one more return to trust. Let the body hear this. You are not in trouble. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being pushed out of your own life. You are being guided in ways that may only make sense later. And when later comes, you may look back and see how certain delays protected you, how certain pauses prepared you, how certain closed doors redirected you, how certain quiet seasons brought you closer to yourself. Life has not been careless with you. Even in the waiting, life has been teaching you. Even in the silence, life has been shaping you. Even in the delay, life has been moving. You may not see all of it yet. That is all right. You do not need to see the whole ocean to trust the wave touching your feet. You do not need to see the whole sky to feel the light on your face. You do not need to see the whole future to bless this breath. Let the breath be enough for this moment. Let the hand on your heart be enough. Let the simple truth be enough. You are held. I am safe in divine timing. My waiting season is easing. What is meant for me is moving closer in peace. Let these words become your closing prayer. Not a prayer of begging, a prayer of trust. Not a prayer of panic, a prayer of peace. Let them move through your heart slowly. I am safe in divine timing. My waiting season is easing. What is meant for me is moving closer in peace. If this reached you, write, I trust my divine timing. Let it be a blessing over your waiting season. Let it be a small promise to your own heart. Let it be a gentle line you return to when the mind becomes loud. I trust my divine timing. I trust my divine timing. I trust my divine timing. Not because I know every detail. Not because I never feel tired. Not because waiting has been easy. Because I choose peace over panic. Because I choose love over fear. Because I choose to believe that life is still for me. The waiting season softens when you stop standing outside your own heart. Come back inside. Come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Come back to the quiet truth that you do not have to earn divine care. You do not have to prove you are worthy of good. You do not have to become perfect before life can bless you. You are worthy in the waiting. You are worthy in the becoming. You are worthy before the answer arrives. Let the old pressure fall from your shoulders. Let the old story loosen its hold. Let the fear of being late become quiet. Let the need to chase become still. Let the present moment open its hands and give you what it can give today. Peace, breath, support, a softer heart. There is nothing weak about surrender. Surrender is not giving up on your good. It is giving up the belief that fear must lead the way. It is giving up the thought that you must control every detail to be safe. It is giving up the habit of turning silence into punishment. It is giving up the fight with divine timing. And in that surrender, the heart can rest, the body can soften, the soul can hear. Maybe the answer is closer than you think. Maybe the blessing is still forming. Maybe life is moving through quiet channels. Maybe the door is not open yet because it is opening in the right way, at the right time, with the right support. Maybe your job today is not to know everything. Maybe your job today is to breathe and not abandon yourself. That is enough. You are enough. This breath is enough. As this part of the journey closes, let your heart receive one final wave of peace. Imagine calm water around you. Imagine a small boat resting safely on that water. You do not have to row with all your strength. You do not have to fight the current. You are anchored in something deeper than fear. You are anchored in trust. You are anchored in divine love. You are anchored in the truth that life knows how to carry you. The water is calm. The anchor is steady. You are held. So tonight, today, or whenever these words find you, let yourself release the thought that you must understand everything before you can rest. Let yourself release the idea that waiting means failure. Let yourself release the fear that life has forgotten you. Life has not forgotten you. Life is breathing with you. Life is guiding you. Life is preparing what can bless you in the right way. You are allowed to rest in the middle of the story. You are allowed to trust before the proof. You are allowed to feel your waiting season easing now. Take one last slow breath with your hand over your heart. Let the shoulders drop. Let the jaw soften. Let your inner world become quiet. I bless this timing. I bless this path. I bless the good that is coming in peace. And as you move forward, carry this simple knowing with you. You are not late, you are not forgotten, and you are not outside the reach of grace. Everything is unfolding in perfect order.